Hello and welcome to the third of our Quiz the Nation COVID-19 lockdown specials. Now, if you've watched the show over the last 2 weeks, then it's great to have you back. And if you're new to the show, you are most welcome. And thank you for joining us. Now, when we're not locked down, we broadcast Quiz the Nation to selected pubs. And players in those pubs use our special Quiz the Nation app to answer all of the questions. So they're not only able to play against people in the pub, but against everyone else playing throughout the country. All very clever. But you don't need an app to play tonight, just a pencil and paper. There are 5 rounds this evening, all very different from each other, and there's something for everyone. Recognising celebrities and sporting logos in Odd One Out, exercising your brains in mental agility, testing your lateral thinking and problem solving in intelligence, and checking on your short-term memory in our observation video round. And finally, you'll be testing your overall knowledge in our special final round, General Knowledge with a Difference. That's all to come, starting very shortly. But just before we start, I have a couple of important housekeeping notes. Our quiz is designed to be fast-paced to keep your attention. But if you're playing with friends and family, you may want a little more time to chat and compare notes during the quiz. This is no problem. Just hit the pause button in the usual way whenever convenient to you, and you can choose your own pace entirely. Both our previous shows and our midweek teasers are available here on our channel to watch and play whenever you like. So if you've missed anything, you can catch up and challenge your family and friends anytime you wish. And finally, a request. Please subscribe to our channel whilst you're here, as this will help us enormously when it comes to making programmes in the future. Many thanks. Right, let's get on with the show. If you've watched before, you'll know that we have 4 spot prize questions during the show, one coming up at the end of each of the first 4 rounds. Now, correct answers on the spot prizes are worth 2 points, so they can really make a difference to your overall score. I'll give you first sight of these spot prize questions before each of the first 4 rounds, and as the questions often relate to what you'll see in that round, this can really help in getting the answer correct at the end of the round. So here comes first sight of spot prize question number 1. In tonight's first round, which movie was the second option shown for question 4? This round is called Odd One Out. Each of the 8 questions will involve a picture made up of parts of 3 other pictures. I'll give you time to study each completed picture and then offer you 4 options from which to choose your answer. What you're looking for is the odd one out, the option that does not form part of the picture. So, for example, if the picture is a face made up of parts of 3 other faces, your task is to pick from the options the name of the person whose face is not part of the picture. Or if the picture is a cityscape comprising elements from 3 different cities, you must pick from the options the city that does not appear in the picture. It will all become much clearer as we start with question number 1. Question 1 is a face, and here's the first part of the face. And the second part. And the third part. Put all those parts together, and here's the completed face. Who do you recognise? So from these 4 options, pick the person who is not part of that face. Second question is a landscape. Which 3 countries are represented in this picture? More importantly, which of these 4 is not part of the picture? Question 3. Football kit. Which clubs are represented there? And it's not necessarily the latest kit. So which of these 4 clubs is not represented in that made-up football shirt. Question 4. Film poster. Parts of 3 film posters here. Which 3 films are represented? And from these 4 options, choose which film is not represented in the picture. Question 5. A flag. And remember, when we talk about countries, we also mean island states and protectorates. Which 3 countries' flags are there represented, and which of these 4 is not represented in the picture? Question 6. Car logos. 3 car logos represented in that picture, but which ones? Well, here are your options to choose from. Which one is not part of that picture? Question 7. A film poster, again made up of parts of 3 other film posters. Here are your options. Which film is not featured in the picture? Question 8. It's a face again. There's the first part of the face, the second part of the face, and the third part of the face. Put them all together. Who is in that face? Here come your options. From those options, choose the person who's not featured in the picture. And that's the end of all of the questions for round 1, with each correct answer being worth 1 point. I'm now going to give you a chance to answer the first spot prize, which I showed you earlier on. Did you find the answer during the first round? Well, let's find out. Here's the question. In tonight's first round, which movie was the second option shown for question 4? Here are your options. Make your choice. Before I go through all of the answers for the questions in round 1 and the spot prize, I'm going to give you 1 minute to tidy up your answer papers and swap them with someone for marking, if someone's available, or to get ready for marking them yourselves. Right, here come the answers for round one, with each of your correct answers being worth 1 point.
Question 1. Nigel Farage was not in the picture. Question 2. The country not featured? Cambodia. Question 3. The football club not featured? Chelsea. Question 4. The movie not featured? Snow White. Question 5. The country's flag not featured? Costa Rica. Question 6. The car logo not featured was Buick. Question 7. The film not featured? Paddington. And finally, question number 8. The person not there? Tony Pulis.
And now here's the answer to the first spot prize question, with the correct answer being worth 2 points.
And the second option was Despicable Me 2. Now here's the first chance to see spot prize 2. In the mental agility round this evening, who is in the box, one above box 7? That won't make much sense yet, but it will after this next round, mental agility.
Round 2 is mental agility, and if you've played over the last couple of weeks, you'll know how it works. But if you're new to the show, let me explain. I'm going to show you pictures of 9 well-known faces, each of whom did something specific in one of 3 years. When I first show you each face, I'll read out a fact about the person pictured. Now that fact will disappear once I've read it out, so you may want to take notes. Each face will end up in one of 9 numbered boxes, and the questions in this round will be about the positional relationships of the people, their boxes and their facts. It will all become much clearer as we go into round 2, mental agility.
Box number 1, Cher, and her fact. Cher won the Best Actress Oscar in 1988 for her role as Loretta Castorini in the movie Moonstruck. Box number 2. It's Michael Douglas. The 1988 Best Actor Award went to Michael for his role as Gordon Gekko in the 1987 movie Wall Street. Box number 3. Sean Connery. Sean won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar in 1988 for his role as Jimmy Malone in the 1987 movie The Untouchables. Box 4. Michael Owen. Michael was the winner of the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award in 1998. He scored 118 Premier League goals for Liverpool FC. Box number 5. Jana Novotná. Jana won the Ladies Wimbledon title in 1998, having been runner-up in 3 previous Grand Slam tournaments. Box number 6. Olivier Peslier. On the 6th of June 1998, Olivier won the Epsom Derby on high rise. The favourite, Cape Verde, finished 9th. Box 7. Craig David. On the 7th of September 2008, Craig played for England against the rest of the world in the Soccer Aid match at Wembley. Box number 8. Eric Cantona. In the 2008 movie French Film, Cantona played Thierry Grimondi. And finally in box number 9, Davina McCall. In March 2008, Davina presented Sport Relief alongside Richard Hammond and Gary Lineker. Well, let's put all of those faces clearly into their boxes 1 to 9 and give you an example. Which number box contains a person whose fact included Epsom Derby? Well, Olivier Peslier is in box 6, so the answer, box 6. Example number 2. Who is in the box below the box containing the person who won a Best Actor Oscar? Well, the person who won that Oscar is Michael Douglas in box 2, below him box 5, and that contains Jana Novotná. Question 1. Whose fact included a type of lizard? Here come your options. Make your choice. Question number 2. Who is in the box 2 to the right of the person whose fact included England? There are the options. Question number 3. Which of the words about to appear as options was part of the fact relating to the person in box 2? Make your choice. Question 4. Which person is in the box above the person whose fact contained Gary Lineker? There are your options. Question 5. Which box is on the left of the box that contains the Epsom winner? Here are the options. Question 6. Whose fact included the name Thierry? And your options. Question 7. Which box is one to the left of the box, which is above the box containing the person whose fact included finished 9th? There's the options. And final question. Which of the options about to appear was part of the fact about the person in the box above the box containing the person whose fact included the word slam? Here are your options.
That's the end of all the questions for mental agility. Hopefully not as hard as you first thought. Now, before I go through the answers, I'm going to give you a chance to answer the second spot prize question, which I trailed at the start of the mental agility round. Are you ready? Here it comes.
In the mental agility round this evening, who is in the box one above box number 7? Here are your options.
Now I'm going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and either hand them over to someone else to mark or prepare to mark them yourselves. Right, here come the answers for round 2, each of your correct answers being worth 1 point.
Question 1. The correct answer? Michael Douglas. Question 2. The correct answer? Davina McCall. Question 3. Correct answer? Street. Question 4's correct answer? Olivier Peslier. Question 5's answer? Box 5. The answer to question 6? Eric Cantona. And question 7's answer? Box 2. And the final answer in this round? Best Actor.
Now I'll give you the answer to Spot Prize 2, which you'll remember is worth 2 points.
And the Spot Prize question answer was Michael Owen.
Now, just before the next round, I'm going to give you sight of the third Spot Prize question, so you can be thinking about your answer during the next round. You may want to make a note of the question. You'll be able to answer this question at the end of the next round.
If September minus Tuesday equals 7, what does Thursday plus May equal? You get a chance to answer that at the end of the next round.
Now, in this intelligence round, I'm going to ask you 5 lateral thinking logic problems. First, I'll read each of them out, and then I'll give you 3 minutes with all of them on the screen to work out your answers. After the 3 minutes, I'll ask you each of the questions again and give you 4 options to choose your answer from for each question. So, are you ready? Here comes question number 1.
Question number 1. If tomorrow equals 814-16619 and yesterday equals 325-826-703, what does today equal? Question 2. 15 people ran the Krypton Factor assault course. All but 7 finished the course dry. How many fell in the water? Question 3. Complete this finite series. A, S, D, F, G, H, and I'm looking for 3 more letters. Question 4. How many of each animal did Moses take aboard the ark? And question number 5. Pete's grandfather's only son is married to Jack's only daughter. What relation to Pete is Jack? I'm now going to put all 5 questions on screen for 3 minutes.
Okay, that's the end of the thinking time. Here comes question number 1 again, followed by 4 options from which to choose your answer.
Question number 1. There it is. And here are your options to choose from. Question number 2. Here are your options. Question number 3. Here are your options. Question number 4. Here are your options. And finally, question number 5. Here come the options.
Now, before I go through the answers to all of those questions, each correct answer being worth 2 points for this intelligence round, by the way, I'm going to give you a chance to answer spot prize question number 3, which I trailed earlier.
If September minus Tuesday equals 7, what does Thursday plus May equal? Here are your options. Make your choice.
I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers again and either hand them over to someone else for marking or prepare to mark them for yourselves. Are you ready for the answers? And remember, for this round, they're each worth 2 points if correct. Here they come.
Question number 1. The correct answer, 81307. It's a straightforward number and letter code. Question number 2. Correct answer, 7. All but 7 finish the course dry. Question number 3. Complete this sequence. Correct answer, JKL. It's the second row of a QWERTY keyboard. Question 4. How many animals? None, because it is Noah's Ark. Question 5. Straightforward family tree. And the answer, grandfather.
Now I'll give you the answer to spot prize number 3. And the correct answer for that question is, as usual, worth 2 points.
And the correct answer is 9. Give the months of the year a value from 1 to 12 and the days of the week a value from 1 to 7.
Now, just before round 4 observation, I'm going to give you sight of the 4th and final spot prize question so that you can be thinking about your answer during the next round. You may want to make a note of the question. You'll be able to answer this final spot prize question at the end of the observation round.
Our observation round presenter told us that which annual event takes place on the back lawn?
In this observation round, I'm going to show you a video shot specially for Quiz the Nation by a very good friend of ours. At the end of the video, I'm going to ask you 8 questions about you've seen and heard on the video. So it's really important to watch everything. What's in the foreground, what's in the background, and pay careful attention to everything that's said during the video. You can take notes, of course, but I would suggest your eyes never leave the screen, as anything can come back to you in the form of a question. So, are you concentrating? Here comes the video.
Hello there, Quiz the Nation. I'm Sal Rourke, greeting you from Washington, D.C., right in front of the Washington Monument. Now, this was built to honour the first President of the United States of America, George Washington. Its cornerstone contains a portrait of Washington, some US coins and a copy of the Constitution, and was laid on the 4th of July, 1848. And in the crowd that day, amongst thousands, the lesser-known Congressman Abraham Lincoln. Now, the monument was officially opened in 1888 and stands at 555 feet tall with 50 flights of stairs. It was the tallest man-made structure in the world until the Eiffel Tower was completed a year later. A moment ago I mentioned Abraham Lincoln, and here on the National Mall you'll also find the Lincoln Memorial, built to honour the 16th President of the United States. Although he was assassinated in 1865, work on this memorial didn't begin until 1914, and it was officially opened to the public on the 30th of May 1922. Now, I couldn't bring you to Washington, D.C. and not show you 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, more commonly known perhaps as the White House, and home to every serving president since 1800. However, its most famous room, the Oval Office, was built more than 100 years later in 1909 and has been the President's working office ever since. And did you know that the White House has 6 levels, 8 staircases and 35 bathrooms? The South Lawn, also known as the Back Lawn, is where the President comes and goes in his presidential helicopter, Marine One. It's also the official setting for meeting and greeting and the annual Easter egg roll, which takes place on Easter Monday. Well, thanks for joining me in DC. That's all for now, but do remember those facts and figures, because guess what? It's question time.
Thank you, Sally. A brilliant tour of Washington. Now keep concentrating, because here come the questions.
Question 1. In front of which landmark was Sally standing at the start of the video? Here are your options. Make your choice. Question 2. We saw a close-up of the Washington Monument with some flags in the background. How many flags could we see? Here are your options. Question 3. The monument's cornerstone, containing some US coins and a copy of the Constitution, was laid on what date? Your options. Question 4. Sally told us that a little-known congressman from Illinois was in the crowd of thousands that day. He would later become president. What was his name? Here are your options. Question 5. The monument was opened to the public in 1888, standing at 555 feet high and containing how many flights of stairs? There are your options. Question 6. The Lincoln Memorial, built to honour the 16th President, is found at the end of the National Mall. Despite being assassinated in 1865, construction didn't start until 1914. When did the memorial officially open to the public? Here are your options. Question 7. How many Parthenon-style columns could we clearly see supporting the roof at the front of the Lincoln Memorial? And here are your options. And finally, question 8. Sally showed us the White House and told us that there is another name sometimes used for the South Lawn, where the President arrives and departs in the presidential helicopter Marine One. What is the other name? Here are your options. Sally told us that which annual event takes place on the back lawn? There are your options.
Well, that's all of the questions for the observation round completed and the final spot prize question. So I'm now once more going to give you the usual minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone else for marking, or, as usual, just get them ready to mark yourselves. Are you ready for the answers? Each correct answer is worth 1 point.
Answer to question 1 was the Washington Monument. Question 2. How many flags could we see? 5. Question 3. The date? July the 4th, 1848. Question 4. The name was Abraham Lincoln. Question 5. How many flights of stairs? There are 50. Question 6. The date, May the 30th, 1922. Question 7. How many columns? There were 12. And question number 8. What's the other name? The back lawn.
That's all of the answers for the observation round. Now the answer for the final spot prize, which, as usual, is worth 2 points.
And the answer? The Easter Monday egg roll.
So how are you doing against the friends and family you're playing with? Well, you've got one final chance to catch up or keep hold of your lead as we go into round 5. General knowledge with a difference. For each of the questions in this final round, general knowledge with a difference, I'm going to show you a picture. Take 10 seconds to study that picture, as the question that follows will relate to it in some form or another. I'll then ask you the question before giving you 4 options to choose from in the usual way. Got it? Let's get started with question number 1.
Question number 1. Study this picture. Here's the question. Bram Stoker's Dracula used this abbey overlooking the sea in North Yorkshire as a bolt hole to slay his victims. In which town is the abbey? Here are your options. Question number 2. What's this plant? Here's the question. This common plant, found both in gardens and in the wild, produces a drug that directly affects the heart muscles and can kill in quite small quantities. What is its Latin name? There are your options. Question 3. Where's this rather grand building? This state university is where both Anton Chekhov and Mikhail Gorbachev studied. In which European capital can it be found? There are the options. Question 4. A flag. And the question. The country served by this flag has in the past been controlled by both Germany and South Africa. Its official language is English. The country has a similar name to the desert along its ocean coast. To which country does the flag belong? There are your options. Question 5. Where's this? This historic college town, situated on the river Neckar in Germany, was the setting for the operetta The Student Prince. Which town is it? Options are there. Question 6. A logo. Originally an American car company founded in 1925, the brand represented here is now part of a multinational corporation. Which European car company is it aligned with? And there are your options. Question 7. A rather beautiful bridge. This vertical lift bridge is one of the last of its kind. It was completed in 1946 and spans the Derwent River. On which island can it be found? There are the options. And the final question. This landmark building near an international airport marks the high point of the novelty architectural style that proliferated in one American state in the first half of the 20th century. Which state? Pick from these 4 states.
That's it, the end of the round, the end of the contest. But before we can finish, I need to give you all of the answers for round 5. And before I do that, I'll give you the usual minute to tidy up your answer paper and hand it over for marking, or get ready to mark it yourself. Right, let's go with the answers to the final round.
Question 1. The correct answer. In which town is the Abbey? It's in Whitby. And Bram Stoker's 1897 novel brought the idea of an undead, bloodthirsty creature into popular culture. Question 2. The Latin name. Digitalis. And the common foxglove makes an ideal garden plant for shady positions. Question 3. The European capital is Moscow. And Moscow State University was founded on the 23rd of January 1755. Question 4. The country to which the flag belongs? Namibia. And the desert along Namibia's coast is the Namib Desert, and Namib originally means vast place. Question 5. Which town? It's Heidelberg. And The Student Prince was filmed in 1954 and starred Anne Blythe and Edmund Purdom. Question 6. It's aligned with Fiat. And the logo is Chrysler, and Fiat Chrysler Automobiles was established in May 2014. The island where it can be found? Tasmania. And the Bridgewater Bridge is pictured, and it's a road and rail bridge in Hobart, Tasmania. And the American state? California. Randy's Donuts is a bakery and landmark building in Inglewood, California, near Los Angeles International Airport.
Well, that is it, the end of this third Quiz the Nation COVID-19 lockdown special, and I really hope you've enjoyed the show. Now, if you have, please tell all of your friends so they can join you to enjoy our fourth special programme next Sunday. Oh, and before you go, please take the opportunity to subscribe to our channel, as that really will help us to keep producing the show in weeks to come. So, until next week's show, keep safe and keep well. See you next Sunday.